I've stayed in hundreds of hotels in my life. Cheap ones, fancy ones. Places that smelled like bleach, and places that smelled like memories you want to forget. But there is one hotel I will never, ever forget. Not because of bad service or dirty sheets, but because I truly believe someone or something was inside my room with me. And the most terrifying part, I never actually saw it, but it saw me. Every second I was there. This happened back in 2021. I was driving across 3 states to help my sister move, and after 8 hours on the road, Yehuskold and tea keep my eyes open. I pulled off the highway and found the closest hotel, a small place called the Palms Inn. I'd never heard of it. The building looked old, but clean enough. What really bothered me was how quiet it looked. Too quiet. The lobby felt like stepping into a forgotten waiting room from the 90s. The wallpaper was yellowed. The ceiling fan creaked with every single rotation, and the guy at the front desk barely looked up when I walked in. He handed me my room key and then said something really strange. He said, "If anything feels off, just come back downstairs. Don't call the room phone." I just figured he was awkward, so I grabbed my key and went to my room, room 212. The hallway was freezing cold, and not a sea cold. This was a different kind of cold. The air felt too still, too heavy, and every single door I passed had a "Do Not Disturb" sign hanging on it. Every one, even though the parking lot outside was almost completely empty. I got to my room and went inside. Nothing was messy. Nothing was broken. But something felt wrong. The TV remote was on the floor. The lamp was tilted at a weird angle, and the chair by the window was turned toward the bathroom door, almost like someone had been sitting there, just watching it. I tried to shrug it off. I was tired, I told myself. I showered, got ready for bed, and finally lay down. Sometime past midnight, I woke up to a soft clicking sound. At first, I thought it was just the pipes or the AC kicking on, but then I realized it was coming from the door handle. Someone was slowly, methodically testing it. Click, click. Then I heard the faint metallic scrape of something sliding into the lock. My chest tightened up. I sat up slowly in bed and just stared at the door. The hallway light was spilling in from the small gap underneath, and that's when a shadow appeared. Someone was standing right outside my room. I whispered, "Hello?" The shadow didn't move. Then, it just disappeared. It didn't walk away. It vanished, like it just slipped backward into pure darkness. Before I could even process what just happened, I heard another sound. This time, it was from inside the room. A slow, quiet exhale. Someone was inside with me. The sound came from the closet area. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. My heart just dropped into my stomach when I saw the closet door. I knew I had left it wide open. Now, it was slightly closed. I whispered again, "Is someone there?" Total silence. Then the door moved on its own. Just an inch. But it was enough to show me it wasn't the AC or my imagination. That was all I needed. I grabbed my bag and I ran. I flew out of that room and down to the lobby. But the front desk was empty. Totally deserted. After a minute, the same man from earlier came out from a back room. When I told him someone was in my room, he didn't look shocked. He wasn't even worried. He just looked tired. Then he asked me something that was so deeply unsettling. Did they touch anything? They. As if he already knew someone, or something, had been in there. He insisted on checking the room with me. We went back upstairs. The moment he opened the door, my stomach turned. The room was perfectly clean. The remote was back on the table, the lamp was straight, and the chair was facing the window again. Everything had been reset, but when he bent down to look under the bed, he froze. He just stared for a full 5 seconds before slowly standing back up. "Pack your things," he said quietly. "You're switching rooms." I asked him what he saw. He didn't answer. He just gave me a key to a room across the hall. I moved fast, locked a new door, checked every single corner, pushed a chair against the door, and turned on every light in the room. But sleep never came. Around maybe 2 a.m., I heard something that made my blood run cold. The soft roll of wheels, a housekeeping cart, Except housekeeping doesn't work at 2 in the morning. The wheels rolled slowly down the hole, then stopped right in front of my door. I held my breath. Then came the breathing. The same slow, heavy breathing I heard inside the first room. But now it was right on the other side of my door. I didn't move. I didn't even blink. Then something pressed gently against the door. It wasn't knocking. It was more like feeling, like a hand was gliding across the surface. After a minute, the breathing stopped. The wheels rolled away. I waited for what felt like an eternity before I finally looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. When the sun finally rose, I went to the front desk to check out. The night shift guy was gone. A different man was there. I told him everything that happened. His reaction was far worse than anything I expected. He looked genuinely confused and said, "Ma'am, we haven't had a housekeeper here for a week. She just stopped showing up." My heart dropped. "Tiniha dead? She had a master key. We still haven't found it." I left instantly. To this day, I don't know who was in that room with me. I don't know who was standing outside my door breathing. And I don't know whose hand traced along my door at 2 in the morning. But I know one thing. Someone checked into that hotel long before I did, and they never checked out.